So we will study the theory of consumers' behavior. Normally, main objective of studying consumer behavior is to derive the demand curve for a commodity. We know that in a free market system, the demand and supply are the main factors that determine the market equilibrium. So, demand is generated by the consumers by their utility maximizing behavior. Now the question comes, what is utility? So utility means, utility can be defined in two ways. Number one, the quality of the commodity by which it satisfies human want, that is called utility. And number two, second definition is that utility is the satisfaction that a consumer derives by consuming a commodity. So here we will discuss about consumer behavior, mainly the theory of utility. And theory of utility, there are two basic theories of utility that we will study here. Number one is known as cardinal theory and number two is known as ordinal theory of utility. So cardinal theory is based on the measurement, numerical measurement of utility, and ordinal theory is based on the ranking of the commodity baskets. So first we will start with cardinal theory or the Marshallian theory of utility. So cardinal theory is based on measuring utility numerically, and Marshall, this theory is based on some assumptions. Number one is that the utility that is derived by consuming any commodity depends exclusively upon the quantity of that commodity consumed. That means if we consider our utility from X, commodity X, it will depend upon the number of the quantity of X consumed. So this is the first assumption. Second assumption is that utility is cardinally measurable. So cardinally measurable means we can measure utility with the help of numerical units. And how to measure it? As per Marshall, we can measure the utility from any commodity by the amount of money that the consumer is willing to pay to consume that commodity. So in morning, in the first cup of tea, if I am willing to pay that $1, that means the utility of first cup of tea will be $1. That will be exactly equal to $1. Or if we consider that for the first cup of tea we are willing to pay BTN 20, that means the utility of first unit is 20. So utility equals to willingness to pay. Third assumption is that more a commodity is consumed, its marginal utility will decline. So what is marginal utility? That means more a commodity is consumed, your willingness to pay for one additional unit will decline. So for example, in the morning, for the first cup of tea, if you are willing to pay BTN 20, for the next cup of tea you will be willing to pay less than BTN 20. So there is a basic assumption of Marshall that utility depends upon the want. Once your want becomes satisfied, so willingness to pay for one additional unit will decline. So successively we will find that more consumption, less will be the willingness to pay for one additional unit. So we can write here, if X rises, consequently the marginal utility of X will decline. And the fourth assumption is that marginal utility of money is constant. So what is the meaning of it? So meaning of it that if one person, his income is 5,000, his income is, or he has NU 5,000 in the hand. So another person, he has NU 50,000 in his hand. So if both are given NU 100, so Marshall says that both will be equally better off by this 100 extra 100 newton. So this is the case. This we can say marginal utility of money is constant. So what is the meaning of this assumption or significance of this assumption? Basically here money is used as a measuring rod of utility. So that's why, like all other scales, to maintain the property of the scale, that for additional increase in money everybody will be equally better off. So this is the property of a scale. If we see that, if we observe one scale, the difference between 1 and 2 is exactly equal to difference between 100 and 101. So to maintain this property, we consider marginal utility of money is constant. So now we'll come to the equilibrium of the consumer. So equilibrium of the consumer, let us take a numerical example, then we will go to graphically, explain it graphically. First let us take a simple numerical example that for each unit, what is the willingness to pay by the consumer. So if we consider that starting from unit, if for the first unit willingness to pay is between 20. So for second unit it is 18. Third unit is 16. Fourth 14. So in this way, as the marginal utility is decreasing, this is W, willingness to pay for one additional unit, marginal utility is decreasing. One time you will find that marginal utility will become 0. But now question is, let us, how much the consumer will consume. So to determine that, you have to find out what is the actual price of the commodity. So let us consider that the price of 1 cup of tea is 14 BTN. So how the consumer will reach its equilibrium? So actually for the first cup of tea, he is willing to pay 20, but what he has to pay, that is 14. That means he measures the utility as 20, but he actually has to pay 14. The second cup of tea, his willingness to pay is greater than what he actually has to pay. For the third unit, again 14. So this is willingness to pay is 16. How much he has to pay? 14. But whenever now for the fourth unit, what do you see? That what actually he has to pay is exactly equal to what he is willing to pay. So for the fourth unit, what do you see? Marginal utility equals to price. So this is the equilibrium condition. So he will stop his consumption here, because if we go for the fifth unit, what do you see? His willingness to pay is 12, but he actually has to pay 14. So the consumer will stop his consumption here. So 14 will be his equilibrium level of consumption. So that is the consumer's equilibrium condition, that is marginal utility equals to price. Now, if we explain it with the help of diagram, that in horizontal axis we are measuring the quantity of commodity X consumed, and the vertical axis we measure the marginal utility of X. which is measured in terms of money. And now this is your marginal utility curve. So if we consider that this is the market price P bar, the equilibrium level will be given as OXE. Not so. There are two conditions of consumer's equilibrium. First condition I have already said, that marginal utility equals to price. Second condition is that marginal utility must be diminishing. Why? Because if we consider that the second order condition, a sufficient condition, that talks about the stability of the equilibrium. That says whether the equilibrium is stable or unstable. So this equilibrium is stable equilibrium. Why? Just go at the left side of it. What do you see? This is the amount of price OP bar what he has to pay. But what is marginal utility? Marginal utility I can give it OX1 A1. So his willingness to pay is X1 A1. That means he thinks that he gets the utility from X1 unit, that X1 A1. But how much he has to pay? Price equals to X1 B1. So willingness to pay is greater than price. You will increase the consumption and reach here, point E. Now, if we consider right side of the equilibrium, what we will find? We will find that here price is greater than willingness to pay. That means what I receive from this is less valuable than what I pay. So what I will do? I will reduce my consumption. So Marshallian theory, the cardinal theory of utility, says the equilibrium is P equals to marginal utility of X. And as per the Marshallian theory of utility, the cardinal theory of utility, this downward sloping marginal utility curve is the demand curve, because his consumption will be determined by the intersection of price and marginal utility curves. Just let us see this. This is marginal utility, this is price. So what is the equilibrium point? Equilibrium point is E. So MUX, which is X. Now, if we consider that there is an increase in price, so this is OP1, consumption was OX1. The price increases to P2. So what will happen? This will no longer be the equilibrium, because if he consumes X1, his willingness to pay is X1E, and actually this is what he has to pay, and this is his willingness to pay. So what he will do? He will reduce consumption. So as he reduces consumption, his willingness to pay or the marginal productivity will gradually increase. And whenever we will reach there, the consumer will again stop at that point. So what we can see? From here, by this we can see that this marginal utility curve represents the inverse relationship between price of the commodity and quantity demanded. Here demanded means how much he wants to consume. So from here we can come to the law of demand, that other things remaining constant. What is other things here? Taste and preference of the consumer, income of the consumer, other things remaining constant. If the price rises, demand falls, and automatically if there is a decline in price, quantity demanded will rise. So there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded when other things remain unchanged. So this is the, so downward sloping marginal utility curve is the demand curve of any product as per Marshallian theory. Now let us come to the criticisms of Marshallian theory. Number one, the most important criticism is that the utility is a psychological behavior of the people, and it is not much realistic to express it with the help of numbers. So this is one drawback. Second thing is that Marshall says that as consumption increases, marginal utility will decline. But there are many commodities for which we see as consumption increases, marginal utility will increase. That means willingness to consume is increasing. And third thing is that very important criticism is that he says that marginal utility of money is constant. The example that we have already given, that one person, his income is 5,000, he gets 100 more. And another person whose income is 50,000, he gets 100 more. So here what we see, the person who has 50,000 BTN 50,000 in his hand, so increase in 100 BTN will not make him much better off. But the person who has 5,000, 100 more BTN will make him more better off. So these are the loopholes of Marshallian theory of utility or the cardinal theory of utility. But still, this was the first theory which tried to explain the inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded when other things remaining constant. So Marshallian theory of utility or the cardinal theory of utility has its significance in economics.